Hey everybody, it's Mike Frieder here with On-Call Compliance Solutions, and I'm back with another compliance tip of the week. Today we're talking about DFARS, NIST SP 800-171, and CMMC, solving for controls with Intune and conditional access. So hey, if you're a defense contractor who's feeling overwhelmed, tired, and alone, trying to understand all of this DFARS, NIST SP 800-171, and CMMC compliance stuff, I've got great news for you. You found your home here at On-Call Compliance Solutions, where we can help you transform into your company's on-call compliance hero. Let's jump into it. So we have had quite a few questions lately about the use of Intune and conditional access when it comes to solving for NIST SP 800-171 controls. A lot of you have seen us reference those two Microsoft tools a lot in our videos as solvency for controls, and have sent in a ton of questions kind of scratching your head saying, hey Mike, why would I need these? So in today's video, I'm going to discuss these two tools at a high level and just give you a baseline understanding of why we use them, frequently for that matter, as a method of control and securing information. So first question we seem to be getting is, hey Mike, I thought Intune was a mobile device management platform. Why are you using it across the secure enclave or the entire network? This is a great question, and I think a lot of the confusion comes from the concept that an MDM, or a mobile device management solution, is only for mobile devices, when in fact, actually, the latest generation of MDM tools is really all about total device management, and Intune is an amazing tool for being able to control any device from a desktop to a laptop to a smartphone to a tablet, and therefore it's an ideal device for security because it can secure many different devices across many different platforms in exactly the same way with the exact same set of policies just written for those different platforms. So with this in mind, Intune becomes one of the most robust and well-developed device management platforms out there, continuously being improved by Microsoft and having native capability across many common features we already know for security, such as group policy. Microsoft has found amazing ways to adapt that to even non-Microsoft operating systems. While Intune is certainly not the only way to control device behavior, it already is there in Azure Government Cloud and Office 365 GCC High solutions. It's just sort of already integrated in there. Because it's native to those platforms, it just makes sense to use it. Okay, so I hear you loud and clear, and now we know generally what it applies to. I'm sure the question in your head that's just rattling your brains right now is, okay, so what can it do? So Intune is an interesting platform that essentially helps to control computer behavior and user behavior capabilities, period. Now, that is an overly general statement, and I'm going to go into the technical ins and outs of it, exactly what Intune does. I'm not going to do that. I'm quite sure you can Google how Intune works and what it does. The idea is that at least that gives you some understanding of what it does and what it controls the behavior of both users and devices. And I think that's a pretty good, really basic 10,000 foot overview of the tool. So now that we know that it can do that, what about conditional access? Conditional access is a very powerful system built within the Azure Government Cloud that will allow or deny access to resources based on specific conditions. So for instance, you can have a conditional access policy that says, unless a machine is enrolled in Intune and has a certain policy running, it will not be granted access to a system resource which may contain CUI. That's huge. That's unbelievable, especially when it comes to that whole first control family of access control. So that is a very powerful feature, and in fact, bringing security an entirely new layer that never existed without this capability. For instance, now we don't just need a username and password, but we need a username and password and multi-factor authentication. And even with multi-factor authentication, attacks, and believe me, they do exist, that was successful, you still wouldn't be able to access company resources without a properly enrolled device. Aha, another layer of security. Even better, these devices that are controlled can be tested using Intune and conditional access to verify that things like antivirus is up to date and running, which creates a very powerful security solution, right? Now we've got 4 layers of security, and that is pretty impressive. And most importantly, it helps us meet a whole lot of NIST SP 800-171 compliance controls around access. So when you put all of this together, what you get is a fantastic ability to meet many of the NIST controls, such as those controls which mandate that only specified devices and specified users get access to those resources that are required, which may contain CUI. While there are certainly other ways to do it, and there are, such as physical control over a device or a group policy, those solutions oftentimes are operating system or device dependent and very difficult to administrate at scale. And that's maybe the most important thing is when you're managing computers and users at scale, you really need to be putting in some kind of policies, and these two tools, Intune and Conditional Access, really allow us to do that at scale. Another portion of the solution that we really like is the idea that it is all part of the Azure government environment, which, as we know, well, it just doesn't turn any heads during an assessment, right? We know it's compliant. There isn't a question. You get Microsoft verified flow down as far as the responsibility matrix. It's just A-OK to use, and that makes everything a lot easier. So with all of this in mind, we become much more aware of the possibilities of really controlling both user behavior and device behavior and what they have access to across any location, on any device, and even across multiple environments. We can do it centrally and feed the results into Microsoft's Sentinel SIEM system so that we get reporting on any issues across the environment at an even better level of detail. And it all just goes together really nice and pretty easily in the Azure government environment. So what's our take on third-party solutions outside of the Microsoft Conditional Access and Intune? Well, certainly there are many alternatives out there. However, at a certain point in time, when it comes to properly securing your systems, you just have to ask yourself, do I want to do it the hard way and learn another third-party solution that may or may not integrate with everything I need? Or is it time to look at the Microsoft solution, which appears to integrate with everything, as certainly we know it's going to check the box? With this in mind, I have to tell you guys that each organization is unique and has different needs. We're definitely agnostic when it comes to solving these problems. So when we start getting down to this level, right, when we start talking about specific solutions, obviously it's not for everybody. And really, where we are with this is I want to be clear that this is an answer that could only be given after some deep discovery into your specific situation. With that in mind, I will say that we do recommend, we do wind up recommending this quite a bit. In fact, we have begun explaining that this to our clients as the next generation in information and cybersecurity solution. In other words, really to modernize security, the ideas of conditional access and Intune policy and device management, that's really what the next layer is, right? That's the next layer in the security onion, and it's something that a lot of organizations just have not implemented today. Effectively using device control and conditional access is the next layer of security that makes sense once we have multi-factor authentication in place. Limiting the ability to even test the security of MFA on an account through conditional access just makes everything so much more secure. Leveraging Intune to have a single pane of glass and control over all devices that can be accessed, that can access CUI is both a simplified and easy solution. So what's the downside here, right? There's got to be a downside, right? Well, the downside is that both Intune and conditional access require some fairly complex configuration and architecting of the policies and settings. In short, I wouldn't call the setup and management of these services a tier 2 help desk level function, so you're going to need a more senior and experienced IT person, even a more senior and experienced IT company. Your 1 to 4 man managed IT service group is probably not really going to know these solutions very well. They're pretty high level solutions usually found in larger organizations. But the good news is the cost scales. It's great for small businesses. You just got to have the knowledge and expertise available. And the good news is here at OnCall, we can help with that. If you like the sound of these ideas or just want an easier way to get compliant and higher security, I would definitely invite you to visit one of our websites. You can check them out in our description here of the video, or even gcchighmigration.com. That's gcchighmigration.com to learn more. There you can actually self-schedule time with one of our setup and migration experts. We don't charge anything. I think we're one of the only companies out there that doesn't charge anything. Where we can dive in, learn more about your specific situation, and whether Intune and conditional access are the right fit for you. The best part is OnCall. Well, it's free to find out how we can help with that. So hey, at OnCall, we take defense contractors just like you who've had this DFARS, NIST, CMMC, ITAR, and EAR information security compliance stuff dropped into their laps like a seagull on a sunny day. And we teach you how to level up and be a proper OnCall compliance hero for your company, eliminating gaps, gray areas, and getting this solved, all while showing you how to leverage compliance as your secret weapon to land more defense work with higher profit margins. Now that is what becoming an on-call compliance hero can do for you. Our compliance experts are always on call for you. You can visit cmmccompliancesecrets.com. That's cmmccompliancesecrets.com, or check out the description below for links to get help right now. If you love the content we're putting out here for you, help us out with a big thumbs up on that like button, or even better, smash the subscribe button to get the latest compliance content as soon as our compliance nerds roll it out. Until the next compliance tip, my friends, stay safe and secure out there. Hit us in the comments below to let us know what you'd like to know more about when it comes to information security and compliance. I'll see you on the next one.